Wait, is it over? I don't get it. What? What?
Okay, that sucked. Let me get another.
No, I'm so can you explain it to me? Is it a Brazilian joke, or do I have to be from Brazil? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Under the Influence. We're so glad to have you. This is season 5, episode
12.
He said it with a lot of confidence.
He was very confident about that.
It's 12.
We're happy to be here. We are just living life, loving life, doing whatever we do. We've got a special episode planned for you. I think you're going to love it. If you've already clicked this video, then you have some idea of what's going on. But we're going to give a quick update on a couple things, and then we're going to welcome a guest on. But right out of the gate, we should probably address something. We're 12 episodes into this season, and the people, they haven't seen Byron once.
Oh.
Not a single time.
I thought Jarrett ate him.
Wow.
I thought we were just the same, right? It was just
Yeah, we just switched you out. It was a one ginger podcast.
I'm not Byron.
We haven't seen Byron once.
I thought that was what the weight loss thing was.
What we
Get Byron back into
Byron back. Byron gained weight, and we started calling him a different name.
Yeah,
and he's like, I want to be Byron.
Gave him
again.
an entirely different backstory.
No. Where Byron has not been kicked off of the show.
No,
just want to clarify.
By
that.
no means.
Byron is just super busy. He's finishing up his physical therapy thing, whatever it's called.
He's becoming a doctor.
He's becoming a doctor of
physical therapy.
That's how you say it.
Took his
Hippocratic
oath and
his hypocritical oath.
Yep. He can't beat us anymore. We made it.
It was funny. You sent me a picture of like the thing he was saying. I said he can do no harm, and he's like, Byron,
he can't hurt us anymore.
He can't hurt us anymore. It was pretty funny.
But yeah, and so he's out of doing schoolwork. Now he is doing clinicals, and basically he's just doing the practice of it and learning through experience now.
Yeah.
And so he's got a really full plate and has had a really full plate. And then a big thing just happened.
He's dating.
That too. That's honestly mostly why he's not
most
been
of
here,
his Saturdays
is because he's spending all of his time.
I hope I was allowed to say that.
We'll ask him.
But yeah, where is he right now?
So right now, he left 1 week ago from when we're recording. He is in Uganda.
Yeah.
So he's doing a bunch of.
He moved.
No.
That's why it's so hard to do the pod.
He's staying there for a couple weeks.
You bet. Nothing.
Yeah, I got what you were going.
Go ahead.
No, so he left about a week ago, and he's going to be staying for another week, and is going around just helping people, going to a bunch of different clinics and getting hands-on experience in another country, and volunteering a bunch of his time to help those that are in need.
It's like a physical therapy missions trip.
Yeah.
Is how it's been explained to me, which is really cool.
That's super cool.
Mission trips, big deal, or are a big deal. It sounded like I was being sarcastic.
Mission trips, big deal.
They are a big deal.
Why'd you raise your hand?
Yeah. But he's going, it's cool to like have this specific purpose, Mm-hmm. Like we've done ones where you go somewhere and you help build houses. Like it's a cool one to be like, hey, I'm going out there and we're providing like medical assistance and physical therapy for people that need it and don't usually get it. I think that's awesome. And what a great way for him to like to put into practice all these things he's been learning. I think that's great. So we want to tell you, the listener or the viewer, obviously you haven't seen him for a while, you haven't heard from him for a while, and we haven't really talked much about him.
No.
We plan on having him on when he gets back. He's going to give us an update on not just what he's got going on, but specifically we're going to have him talk about that trip, and we'll kind of interview him. We'll grill him a little bit, We'll talk about that. So
may or may not have pictures.
He may or may not have pictures. I think that'd be pretty cool. He did text me yesterday and say, hey, what is the most iconic Jude saying?
Oh, is that why you asked me?
Yeah, you didn't respond, did you?
I spent so long thinking about it, and I couldn't come up with anything.
I want the listeners to tell us, can you think of the most iconic Jude saying? Because Jude, used to be on the show way back in the day. And the reason Byron texted me that was apparently there's somebody with him that he said looks like and acts like Jude. And so maybe he was just going to ask him to like say something.
Say this.
Jude-ish. But the only thing I could really think of that was like Jude was, my dad's was hilarious. I asked my dad and he goes, he said, quote, I'm not, what is it? I'm not arguing. You're just wrong. Which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the thing I thought of was Jude being like, dude, come on, man, or something like that. Like he says stuff like that a lot. But that's kind of boring. If Byron was like, hey, can you say this for me? Sure. Say, dude, come on, man. It'd be like, what's
the point?
So,
hey, stranger, can you do the Tom Cruise laugh for me?
Yeah. Just do something very specific. But
do your best Shane Gillis impression of Donald Trump.
So that would be the most iconic Jude thing.
I mean, honestly,
Jude being like Joe Biden, how he likes to say that. So there's your Byron update. I hope you've been enjoying the podcast recently. I think it was last episode we had some fun playing a game. That was a blast. We're gonna try and be more intentional about bringing some old segments back and doing some more of those things. So let us know what your favorite segments are, maybe down in the comments below, what kind of things you want us to do. But enough of Byron. Sorry, Byron. We'll hear from him soon. The chunk, like the meat of this episode, why we're all here is because we are joined by a very special guest. We've gotten to know this guy through the internet, which is really cool. It's another cool example of how Christ is bringing the kingdom together on the internet.
Another stranger on the internet.
And we're excited to have him. So, Richard, welcome to the show. Okay.
Hey.
Sounds like the people can see you. You're on the screen. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hey, strangers in the internet.
Strangers on the internet.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
How are you?
I am very, very well, thank God. And you guys?
Very good.
We're doing good.
Yeah, it's a good day. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. When you said if he has pictures, I just remembered of a meme of this guy's like, I'm a man. I have no record of anything I'm doing. I just remember that immediately. Like, if he has pictures, yeah.
That's so funny.
I mean, it's also true though. Like
It is true. Yeah.
like girls take more pictures than guys. Is that it? Or
well, yeah, I've just got no photos of myself.
oh,
Exactly.
really?
Like I was like, yeah, I had hair down almost to my waist. And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Oh.
You scroll
I
and it's like
literally have
the only
no
picture you
pictures
have
of
is
it.
from like 10th grade or something.
I mean, it goes back.
No,
yeah.
it's you got like 600 memes saved to your phone.
Oh,
First.
yeah, I mean, it's all the only things that I've got are memes, basically.
Well, Richard, we're really honored that you're here and that we get to talk to you. And also, this is going to be a cool guest episode for many reasons. But one of them being, it's not. I don't think we've ever had somebody just from the Christian Influence Discord community, like I was gonna say Skype in. That's such an old terminology to use. Call in and be on the show. This is really cool. So I think it would be cool for people to hear kind of your connection to Christian Influence. Like, how did you find Christian Influence and meet me and these guys?
All right. So, I may not look like it, but I'm a little bit nerdy. So I do enjoy games and stuff, Dungeons and Dragons and these kind of things. So I always try to find a community. I tried to find a community where I could play games and talk to similar-minded people. To have fun in online games, but I always it's so hard to find a nice community where people try to praise the Lord and keep a good what's the word I'm looking for? Is it demeanor? A good demeanor?
A good demeanor.
A responsible way of playing without like cursing, bad words, without tending too much to the dark side, because you get that a lot with like Dungeons and Dragons players and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to summarize, the way I've met these wonderful people is, for the audience, is I was looking for a Dungeons and Dragons campaign to listen to, because I really enjoy listening while I'm working or driving and stuff. And I just thought the ones that I was finding, it was just too dark and creepy, and it kind of brought a weight, like a spiritual weight. And I felt like, man, come on, I really like this. I don't want to give it up, but at the same time, doing the way I'm doing it, it's just not worth it. So I started searching for a Christian, and that's the exact words I wrote: Christian influenced Dungeons and Dragons.
Whoa,
Wait,
really?
Actually?
I actually wrote those words.
I didn't know
like,
you had the word influence in there.
That's
I did,
incredible.
yes.
Wow.
Christian influenced, because I was like, well, there's probably won't be a Christian D&D, so at least influenced.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're
and
like, these
there
guys
it
are
was.
literally called that.
Yeah. And then I was like, legends, lore and legends.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, how is that Christian influence? And then underneath, Christian influence. I'm like, okay, yeah. Let me get this stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So then I was like, it was funny because from Jerry's perspective,
Yep.
I could tell it was super creepy, because I was like, hey man, I loved your show. I want to get to know you. What's your phone number?
Well, the funny thing was, like, we had a
The Xbox chat. What's your number?
Yeah. the podcast host that we were using, we're actually in the process right now of kind of switching, but the one that we were using, called Buzzsprout, had just recently rolled out a feature called Fan Mail, where it would generate like a phone number for you, and there would be a link on the episodes that you could click, and you could send a text to us. But the problem with that is like where we go look at it on our website for our podcast, it would just say like a bunch of stars and then the last 4 digits of someone's phone number, and then their name, and even like the area they're from, and then it would say like your message, but I wouldn't be able to reply. There was no reply feature. And so I had this message from you that's like, hey, my name's Richard. I love the show and something, and I really want to get in contact with you guys. And I was like, oh, I feel bad because like there's no way for me to respond to him. And then there was another one from you like a few days later or something that said more of the same, like, hey, I really want to get in contact with you guys. And I'm just like, I have zero way. I was even searching based on, because you had said you were in Florida in the message, which interestingly enough, the phone number generated a totally different state. Like it told me, you must have a different Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay.
It must be the area code.
But it was wild for me because I wasn't looking at the fan mail thing.
Yeah.
And Jerry was like, yeah, we got this new feature. We can go and people can just send us, messages and things. And then he gets one and he's like, man, there's this guy. He really wants to get in contact with us, but I've got no way of contacting him. And I'm like, man, that's rough. And then he comes back to me like a week later and he's like, dude, he's sent like 3 messages now. I have no way of responding to him. He's
felt
from
so bad.
somewhere in Connecticut, but also I don't know what's going on. How do we get in contact? And I'm just like, we've left in messages in the podcast to check the Discord.
Yep.
I want him to get there because then we can actually have a conversation. And it was just so funny. And then finally, you did join in.
Well, first what worked was you left a comment on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And then I was like, I can respond to that. Like
Okay.
you left a comment on the YouTube channel that was like, hey, it's me, Richard, or something. And I was like, oh, it's the guy that I couldn't respond to. So boom. I replied, and then you joined the Discord, and then I think it was like a few days later we were on a call.
Yeah,
or
you put your personal phone number on the YouTube comments,
I
right?
put my personal phone number and my address.
Why
Why didn't you come over?
Actually.
You what?
I was kind of disappointed. You didn't do that because I was expecting. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, now he can reply to me. He's gonna give me his phone number
I should
on
have.
the YouTube.
Yeah, put it on YouTube. No, you could. I could have given you my address. You could have just flown out here, been like, "Hey, it's
Yeah.
me. I'm Richard. I'm the guy that's been
That's
trying to get
always a
hold of
good
you."
idea to
That
put
wouldn't
your phone and address, dox yourself.
have.
Because that's always in a good light. You know?
That's never ended horribly.
No, it's never ended badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you found Christian Influence through looking for a D&D podcast, right? A Christian D&D podcast. Found ours. I'm assuming hated it right away.
It's
right?
awful, right?
It's just
So
yeah.
bad.
It's
You gotta really try it. Like
it's a tough one.
Got to push through.
yeah.
No, it's really
Man.
cool.
You got to wait until you hear Titus's voice, and then
Hi, I'm Titus.
There it is.
it's so epic. Also, you're tired now. I knew that.
I thought you were Venora. Sorry.
Yeah.
got him.
No, it's
but
cool. Like
start, man.
what?
Since the start, like all the even like the beginning of the character, the presentations, like every person that I've talked to that listened to it, like from 5 minutes in, they're hooked. It's very good. You guys do
cool.
a wonderful job. And
Thank you.
needless to say, Cephas is also just too much. That guy is.
Yeah. He's epic. I wish Matt could have been here on the episode. That would have been a good idea. I didn't think about that.
It would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. Could have met Matt. Because I think you've kind of met Jarrett over Discord a little bit, and definitely met Levi over Discord. And we've met face to face, which was pretty cool. When you showed up to my house. But just kidding.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
But
was like, try to ignore me now.
try to ignore me now. Sorry, I can't respond. Yeah, no.
You know, if you were a real stalker, you would have just found his address.
That's
you know?
true. You wouldn't need me to tell you.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that creepy until there was a moment. It's because like I wasn't creeped out by it, and I think that's good. Like I had no reason to be, but there was a moment where Mike and I were in Orlando for like a conference thing, and then we had posted that on the Discord or something, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm in Florida. Like we should meet up," and I was like, totally makes sense, super cool. And then when we're waiting there for you, like at this place, and you're gonna show up, I looked at Mike and was like, you know what's freaking me out? Not necessarily what's happening, but that it hasn't freaked me out. That was what I was like. I feel like I probably should have been more careful. This person who I've never met before, likes our show, wants to meet up, and I was like, I didn't think about that. I think that through it all. So this guy could be an axe murderer. I have no idea.
I am the DM now.
Yeah, I'm gonna DM a Lore and Legend now.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? We're meeting up with Florida Man,
Florida man.
Florida
Alligator. Hey, how you guys doing in Florida?
I just wrestled this outside. Decided to bring it into this mall.
You guys gonna want to give it a wrestle too?
Yeah. Have you seen many gators down there?
Bro, I have not.
Really?
Like,
Are you serious?
No, yeah.
Are you even
And
in
they say
Florida?
that- I'm starting to second guess that because they say there's a way to test to see if there is, because there's like lots and lots of ponds and lakes here, like everywhere. And they say there's a way to test for gators. And I've tested and I've proven there's gators there, but I haven't seen them.
Is the test to walk into it?
No. The test is actually pretty good. Is you go next to the water, and then you kind of like put like 2 fingers inside the water,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you pull out your fingers, if it's wet, there's gators.
I'm so sad we don't have a producer cam because he just about fell out of his chair.
That was pretty funny. I was about to be like, Richard, it'd always be wet, and then I realized that the joke is that they're everywhere. I was like, that was ridiculous,
It's so bad.
dude. This guy really had me going with another joke one time. I don't remember what it was, but I was driving and I like looked down at my phone for a second and saw that he had sent me a message that was like, "Hey, can you, like, I'm having a hard time understanding this passage in Revelation or something like that." And
Revelations 8:1.
oh,
Yep.
and I was like, man, I don't. Oh, well, this is kind of a bad time. I'm driving, but I was like, it sounded serious, and so I was like, sure, like as soon as I can. Yeah, let's talk through this. I don't know what it is, but let's talk through it. And and then it was he's like, read this and tell me. He's like, I never realized that, it's going, what is it? That it's going to be silent in heaven
Are you sure you wanna?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's go for it.
I know this.
I can say it. I can say it.
Yeah, go for
we
it.
can cut it
love
out if it's
this
too
one.
bad. No, it was. I said it backwards. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it gives the interpretation of maybe men will go to heaven 30 minutes before women, but
Yeah, that's what it was. And I was like, I thought it was so serious because I look at my phone and entirely serious. He's like, hey, I'm having a hard time, understanding this. Or like, maybe I just think we need to talk about it. Like, have you ever heard this? My mind has been totally changed on this passage in Revelation. I'm like, whoa, this is like, he's really going. Like, what is this? And then he's like, apparently men are going to spend 30 minutes in heaven before women are called into heaven. And I was like, I have never heard that before. That sounds crazy. Okay, like how would we even know that? And then eventually I went and read it and was like, oh, it was a joke. It was such a joke, and it really had me going. I was like, I was nervous. I was like, oh no, is Richard getting into some cult or something? Like some weird like man cult. I don't know what this is. We need to talk about this. Yes, maybe some hypothetical. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, it's just a joke. So for those wondering, go read, what is it? Revelations 8:1?
I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check here real quick.
Yeah. Double check that, because we'll let our listeners go read it for themselves, see if they can figure out this new theological wonder that we have come across.
Revelations 8:1.
All right, yeah, Revelations 8:1. It tells you why apparently men
will be in heaven 30 minutes before when.
Yeah. So
When?
But yeah, so we gotta show you a thing. We met up in Florida. It was pretty cool. It was awesome. We got to meet, talk about the show. We got to talk about just our lives. It was really cool. It was a cool experience because kind of like Mike and I have talked about how Mike, is this guy that showed up on Christian Influence at one point, and now we're friends and we've met each other, and he's been on this show. It's similar with you too. Like you're somebody that is a fellow brother in Christ, and we never would, more than likely, we never would have met if not for the way that God is using the internet to bring his kingdom together, right? Which is such a cool thing. So, I mean, what an honor, right? Like we have another brother in Christ that we never knew was out there. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and the way we met too, it was pretty funny because you've posted that you were in Florida. So I was like, hey man, you're in Florida? Where in Florida? And then you said, right, where you were, and that was like 10 minutes away from my wife's job. Like literally. And so I was like, hey guys, so let's meet. When can you meet? And then I think it was something like we could only meet that day. Yeah. Or something like that. So I was already driving home and I'm like, all right, then I'm just gonna come to you right now. Like I'm meeting you right now. Yeah. And then I think at that point Jerry was like, okay, this guy's gonna come here to do something. I don't know.
I think that was the message where you're like, all right, I'm on my way right now. And when I looked at Mike and I was like, he's really eager. He's really willing.
Well, he actually never needed to know where you were. He already knew. He was stalking you the whole time. He just needed permission to meet you face to face.
Yeah, no, I'll be right there.
Plausible tonight.
The 10 minutes was changing out of his full black getup to hide in the shadows.
He had to get out of his ghillie suit.
He had to take off his ghillie suit.
No. So apparently,
aren't you gonna reply? I saw it.
Yeah, you looked at it and you didn't type. That's kind of rude.
Leaving me on red?
So, Richard, you said earlier you're a gamer, right? Do you have a favorite video game?
Favorite video game? That's I always have games that I go back to. I really like Skyrim, for example.
Nice.
And the Souls likes, and the Souls, the Elder stuff like that.
Is that
I like?
Sorry, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I really like MMOs, but as we grow up, man, that's tough. As we grow up, we don't have time for, or at least you don't have a lot of time to like do all the grindings that you need to get loot. So MMOs just kind of falls off the table at that point. So
yeah, MMOs are a difficult one to keep up with. I really like New World, and I do play it every now and then. I just can jump in for like 30 minutes here and there. And so I'm really good at fishing in that game. But yeah, MMOs are so fun. Skyrim's a great pick though. What's the video game that like made you a gamer though? Like when you think back and you were like, man, was it Skyrim? I don't know, but like when you got into it, you were playing this game, you're like, video games kind of rock, and I want to play more of them.
Yeah. Me and my dad and my brother always played video games.
Really?
Since I think when we were like 8, my dad would sometimes my dad would spend we had the game in our room at one point in our house. So he was into this Legend of Legaia, I think it was called, like from, I don't even know, it was like Xbox One or something. And he would spend like the whole like night in our room playing the game while we were trying to sleep.
That's amazing.
So yeah. Oh, I got the answer for you. Age of Empires 2. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what like I really like games. Like
really, that's a good one. I think that's probably one of the ones that did it for me too. I remember distinctly being in a friend's house and him being like, "Dude, check out this game," and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." And he's like, "Now check out the cheat codes," and like typing in all these cheat codes and stuff for Age of Empires 2, like getting 1 million food and then being like, "Check out this cheat code," and then all of a sudden spawning in like a sports car with a missile launcher on it or whatever. And I was like, "This." Did you know about that in Age of Empires 2?
No.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Well, you're not a cheater. Apparently.
I didn't know about it until Jerry told me. So
yeah,
and I had
for me,
played
cheating
tons
was building a wall around a priest and then just converting all the elephants.
No, you could hit a button. It might have just been enter, but there was a button that would open up a little text screen, and you could put in cheat codes. Like if you put in pepperoni pizza, it gave you 1 million food, and then if you put in the cheat code, I think Big Daddy, then it would spawn in a sports car with a missile launcher on the top, which is just ridiculous. Like not at all, doesn't fit in the game at all. No. But of course, many of my games of Age of Empires 2 included me typing in the cheat code Big Daddy 100 times, getting 100 sports cars with missile
then
launchers
just absolutely destroying Joan of Arc.
just destroying everything in my path. So, yeah,
and
that's
then
awesome.
immediately just restarting the the campaign, like
Pretty much, because it's like, okay, yeah, the cheat codes make it less fun. But yeah, that's a great game. I think for a lot of people, people play that game still.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
They remastered it, and
Yeah.
people are also playing the newer Age of Empires. I mean, the crowd for for certain things competitively, it's really small. And the other thing is the age range of playing Age of Empires is way higher than the rest of your games. Because you really don't start seeing people playing it now until they're like 26 and up, which is like our age.
Right.
Just because the demographic for strategy games is older people.
Yeah, it kind of always has been, I guess. Well, yeah, but we played this game as a kid.
Oh, I know. We played this game as a kid, but people now don't play basically all strategy games. Most of the people are between 24 and 34 that are playing it or older. Because you don't need as much hands, and it's not as,
goopy gamer goblin brain.
Yeah, goblin goomer gamer brain. Yeah.
We got there.
Yeah. But because I've been playing some there's a lot of strategy games that I've been playing, and I've been watching
Stratego, Risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uno.
No, I've been playing Total War Warhammer, and I've been watching a streamer, and he's the biggest one for that game, and he does at least on the competitive side, and but he also does a bunch of other games, and then he pulls his audience to see how old people are, and also if you look at the larger aggregate ones, it's all just older people.
Yeah.
But every once in a while there'll be a kid that's joins into a tournament, first time in a tournament, and he makes it to the finals up against a monster at the game, and it's pretty close, and then they're like, "Man, you're so great at the game. Why have we never heard of you?" And he's like, I'm 22. And it's like, oh, okay. You were 14 when the first game of this came out, when we started playing it, when we were all in our 20s.
That streamer that polled his audience, he's like, man, I wonder what the demographic of people that watch me play this game are. And he puts it out there, and it's 100% 70-year-old women.
No, but the thing about it is that, he doesn't have all of the. There's certain things that he doesn't have because he's younger. There's certain just big brain overall strategy, the macro, but his micro is incredible because he has the hands to do it. He's the reaction time to just be reacting all over the place, which is something that just gets lost as you go older. Sorry, going on a tangent about strategy games.
Did you ever play Command and Conquer, Richard?
Yes.
That was another one.
Yeah. In Commandos too. That was pretty cool. The one that
you played it in. You played it in Commando. Is that what you said?
You played it Commando.
I've never heard of this game. Commandos. I've never heard of that one.
I've heard of it, but I didn't play it. Were you Xbox or PlayStation or just PC?
So I had Xbox One and then PlayStation 3. By one, I mean, it's so confusing.
The
Xbox
original
is,
Xbox.
The naming.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah,
An
OG
Xbox and
there
then
you go.
PS3. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then PS4? Yeah, PS4 and then computer. That's what I had.
That's cool.
Just interesting to see, how people switch around.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hard topic switch here.
Yep.
But we've had you for a little bit, and I want to make sure that we get to something. We want to learn about you. I think it'd be cool. I want to get to know you better, and also I think it'd be cool for the people watching to get to know you better. So you're married, right? You said earlier, you mentioned your wife. How did you and your wife meet and end up getting married?
That's a very fun story to tell. But when you said you wanted to know me, I thought you were going to ask my phone number so I can give it live.
You can do that if you'd like.
Yeah, whatever. If you want to dox yourself, that's an American right.
He's gonna look up your number and
Jerry's
say,
number. Yeah.
He said, "Let me look up Jerry's number." That's my number out there.
All right. So the way me and my wife met. So I was born in Massachusetts, but my parents are Brazilian. If the audience couldn't tell, my English is not my first language. It was until 4 years old, and then it became a second language. But so we went back and forth from U.S. and Brazil, and when I was around 11 years old, we moved to this small town, almost where Jerry lives. Not kidding.
Got him.
Got it. No, but seriously, it was like 1,000 inhabitants. Like it's very small. Yeah, very small town. And we just came from Massachusetts, so like it's crazy to think how from United States of America we went to like this. And mind you, we had no family there, no friends there. We had like literally my dad one day just said, "Hey, let's drive north and see if we could find a farm to buy." Something like that. It was like the most random thing ever.
How old were you?
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah. So on that small town, guess who was there? So my wife lived there.
Oh, cool.
Her family was from there. Like her whole history was there. And we studied together for 2 years. After 2 years, I kind of had like a little crush on her, and she had a crush on me, but we were too young and too shy to say anything. So we did not tell each other that we like each other, and we were like babies too. We were like 12, 13, I don't know. So on her birthday, I wrote a love letter.
Sorry. Levi's not laughing at you. Our producer just blew his nose out there.
Blew
but
his nose so loud.
It was incredible.
No, he's getting
There's
ready
no
to
way
cry.
the mics picked that up.
No, the mics
but I
didn't.
heard it through the wall.
It was just funny because we could hear it. Okay, sorry, Richard. On your wife's birthday.
On your wife's birthday.
So on my wife's birthday, I wrote her a love letter. And this was like when we were 13 years old.
Wow.
But I did not have the courage to read it to her. So I called her, gave the phone to my brother, and told him read this letter to her. So he did. He read the letter to her, gave me the phone, and I hung up.
Dude,
mic drop.
What's crazy?
Did she know that the letter was from you though?
What's crazy is
Okay.
so far, almost every detail of this is identical to me and my wife. It's crazy, but
yeah, the Massachusetts, the Brazil.
Massachusetts, Brazil.
Yeah. And then and here is something that she will like throw in my face for the rest of my life. When I hung up, the next day we went back to the United States. So it was like, yeah, I love you, bye. I'll never see you again. Like it was.
That is so funny.
My brother's gonna proclaim my love to you.
Did you know you were gonna be leaving the next day, or was it another surprise?
I don't remember, man. I probably knew, and that's why. And that's probably what made me.
I got to get this off my chest
You
later.
need to get it off your chest, and then.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I need to make this a her problem, not a my problem.
Well, the ball's in your corner.
Yeah.
You've got to make a long shot, though.
You're basically saying, like, can we put this on hold until maybe I ever see you again?
Yeah, but today we can tell that the seed was sowed, right? So,
yeah.
So fast forward 10 years, we did see each other once in a while. Like we went back and forth from Brazil, United States, and we would see each other sometimes. So in these 10 years, we probably saw each other like 3-4 times.
Wow.
So when I moved to the US permanently, I was, I think, 22. It was what's it called? The Kids Day, or I don't know, Child's Day. I don't know. I think in Brazil. I don't know if you guys have it. There's like Kids Day in Brazil.
Like a national
holiday?
holiday?
What does that mean? What is Kids Day?
You know, like Father's Day, Mother's Day. There's like Kids Day.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So on Kids Day, I put a picture of myself when I was very, very, very young, even before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So you put a picture of your mom?
No. It was something else, but which I'm not gonna say here. But it was something else. I put a picture there, and she made a joke, on it. So when she made a joke, I was like, "Oh yeah, she exists," and so I remembered, like. And then we started talking again, and we would talk back and forth sometimes, again, like 3 or 4 times during the period of 10 years, but we would always be like very, very friendly, like how there's like a connection to each other. So we started talking, and then like 2 weeks into talking, I was like, I love you. You wanna but through the internet, and I was like, hey, you wanna be like digital boyfriend and girlfriend? And she's like, well, sure.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was crazy. She's crazy.
Dude, the love letter worked.
It worked. See? Yeah.
She's like, I've been looking for you for 10 years, Richard.
You just hung up on me. You never gave me your number.
Well, if only have you commented on a YouTube channel. Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So three months later, after we started dating, I went to Brazil to officially meet her and then say we're boyfriends and girlfriend. And that's how we started. And we dated for 3 years over distance.
Wow.
So I was, yeah.
That's tough.
It is tough, but now I know that is possible. So if somebody's trying, I could tell you, no, it worked, because 3 years, man, I would see her once a year for about 20 days. Yeah. And it took 3 years for her to come here. So,
That's
and now
amazing.
she's here, and we're happily ever after.
That's amazing.
If you think about it, you got her to marry you after like 60 days then, right? Dave, 3 years,
Exactly.
20 days a year. I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only. Yeah. Are you making a 60-day fiance joke?
90-day fiance.
Oh,
yeah.
90 days. There's a show
Dude, he
called.
beat the deadline,
Yeah. No.
We actually thought about applying for that, but
really?
we were not so dramatic. So we were like,
That's
we would be
incredible.
like, yeah, this works. Okay, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you too. Okay, let's go have dinner.
That's
and that would be
great.
the show. Like,
It would have been like everybody's watching all of the terribleness, and then it's like, oh man, I love these guys.
Yeah,
I want them
you're
to
the most
actually get
wholesome-
married.
the most
oh
wholesome
man, that's
couple.
great. No, but I would never want to be on that show, because then they pull you back in to be in big rooms where you're talking with all of the other couples, and they're just awful people.
Oh, really? I've never actually seen the show. I've just seen clips of it, of like when the memes.
Yeah, I mean, I've only watched people reacting to it.
Really?
Yeah, I would never be able to watch it.
No.
No.
So how long have you guys been married?
That's a good question for her, but I'm gonna say, well,
What is that supposed to
all right, with the confidence that this is the 12th episode,
Yeah.
I will say 7 years.
Nice. That's great. That's great. Praise God. I mean, what a blessing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And an
Yes,
incredible story that like you guys have known each other so long, and you had this great thing like when you were kids, you know, this fun story from when you were kids, and that God was like, yeah, I'm going to make this great story, you know? I think that's so cool. I think that, you know, I believe God really is a storyteller, right? He makes things, the way God does things is always the best and most beautiful way that it can be. And I've seen that in my life, like, and in the lives of other people and in so many different ways. But even with, you know, how you end up meeting your spouse, often it's these incredible stories, you know? And like I've talked about on this podcast before, that was something that I really wanted. What for a long time was like, oh, I want to marry someone and for it to be this cool story, you know, high school sweethearts or something like that. And I was just ignoring the fact, I guess, that God had a way better story in mind, right? And so it's so cool. You guys have such a great story. That's amazing.
Yeah, and one thing that I didn't say, but I want to comment is, well, when I posted that picture of myself when I was before I was born, it's on my Facebook. I don't know if you guys have my Facebook, but it's there if anybody gets curious. But that was actually a couple of months after I've decided that I wasn't going to be like looking proactively for like a girlfriend. I was like, you know what?
Wow.
Because I was just coming out of a not just coming out, but I was coming out of a relationship, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna look for it anymore. And that's when I gave the opportunity to God, be like, okay, finally, all right, let me do my thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's amazing because I went through the same thing. Like I got out of a very toxic, abusive relationship and talked with Jerry about it a lot and just decided like, okay, now's the time that I need to start working on myself, growing in Christ and just being an overall better person. And then God was like, all right, here's that person who's going to help you grow.
Yeah.
exactly. The scripture says that a good wife is the. It's gonna sound dark, but I'm just wanting to find a word. What happens like when you're like when you get something from your parents when they pass? What's
Inheritance.
Inheritance.
There we go. In Portuguese, I know, but a good wife is the inheritance of the Lord, right? So inheritance, you don't do anything to get it, like except if you try to kill your parents, which is something awful. You wouldn't get it anyway. Yeah. But
Good clarification.
Yeah, but inheritance is something that you don't work toward, right? You receive. So it's not something that, and it's very like nice how the Bible says that the good wife, is an inheritance. So it's not something that you can do anything to achieve. You just have to receive.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's incredible. No, I remember similarly, you know, thinking in my life, like I've worked really hard to try and make this happen, to try and find a girl that I can marry, find the right girl, find the godly woman. And then it was a sermon that I was listening to, and this guy was talking about how he was like, he was saying basically he had done the same thing in his life, and then he went, wait a second. I'm looking for who I think is the good wife, like who's going to be a good wife. And instead, he's like, I should be asking God, who is the right wife? Can you show that to me? And I'll just let you do that. You know, like I'll stop trying to force something. I'll let you do that, and I'll just be along for the ride. And I was like, wait a second. Yeah, of course that should be how it is. And it wasn't long after that God was making it pretty clear that, oh, that was Perry, you know. And I think that's a great point that you made. And I think that's cool. I think a lot of men have that experience where they're like, a lot of Christian men especially have that experience where they go, okay, I'm not going to just like try and look and I'm getting so focused in these areas or whatever. It's like, and then, oh, God brings you your wife. Like, that's super cool. What a great story. Well, you're obviously a believer. You talked a little bit. We've talked about that. I think it would be cool. This is one of my favorite questions to ask people. And I already knew a little bit about you and your wife, but these guys didn't, and the listeners didn't. But I don't think I've asked you this before. And it's one of my favorite questions because I think it can highlight our testimonies and like how God uses other people. But who's a person, in your life, or maybe multiple people, I don't know, but who's a person in your life that you would say God used to demonstrate the gospel to you or to share the gospel with you? Like someone that's pivotal to God saving you. Is there someone in your life like that?
Yes, there is a couple of people, and that question it's a very fun question to answer, because recently I've been noticing that there are a couple of things that people present to us, right? So there are people that presented me with the gospel. There are people that presented me with love, and then there's people that presented me with Christ, which wasn't the same thing, right? So I was born into a believer's family, right? A Christian family. So I was presented with the gospel very early.
Okay.
So I would go to church. I would do all the things, pray, worship, have communion and stuff. But recently, and I'm actually that's the person that brought me to Florida, which is his name is Marco Tullio, not Marco Polo. So, this guy, when we were having a very hard time in Connecticut, he actually invited us to live with him. And mind you, we didn't know that guy. Like we saw him once.
Wow.
But he through prayer, we were asking God because we knew that we had a feeling that we had to move from Connecticut, but we thought, well, we are not going to move until we. And then this guy from Florida, which is a place that I never wanted to come because I don't like the heat, but I'm okay with it now. It's actually not that bad. But he invited us to come.
No, I'm just kidding. Huh? I said it's the Gators.
It's not the heat. It's the alligators.
The Gators are they're just stories, man. They don't exist. I haven't seen them. It's all AI.
Yeah.
So when he called us to live with him, it was a weird and experience. Like two grown up husband and wife going to another grown up family's house to live with them without knowing them. We were like, well, this is weird. It's gonna be hard to make it work. But when we got here, then we were presented with the love of the gospel, right? Not just the word of the gospel, because these people loved us, man. They really showed us what like love is. We've never had a discussion, which is crazy because like everybody uses everything in the house, and we are just about now going to move away. That's a year and a half later. Like we've been living with them for a year and a half.
Wow.
And we've already asked them a couple of times, like, do you want us to leave? And they're like, no. And right now at this point where we're moving, and I told you we're in the process of moving, they're actually like, hey, if you guys want to stay, you can stay more. So it was something like it was crazy how it was shown love. And then through this love, we're participating on a global, something very similar to Christian Influence. It's a global communion church, and that's where we were presented with Christ, right? Because and Jerry probably can tell that I talk like Christ in us, and we gotta almost like keep ourselves at the cross and just let Christ live. So and the person that was teaching us that is Tulio, and also a guy named Facundo, which is, I don't know if you guys know like Brazilian or Brazilian history, but Brazilians and Argentina, they have like a beef with each
Really?
other.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly over soccer, which I don't care about. but but it's funny because Facundo is it's a guy from Argentina, and he is like the guy that preaches for us, right? He is the elder of the church or the movement or the communion or whatever you want. So, long story long, that those are the people.
That's amazing. So this Marco guy, who I thought when you first started telling the story, I thought maybe you were saying like when you were a kid, this guy let you guys live, you and your family, but you're saying this is someone that basically hosted you in his house after you and your wife got married when you guys moved. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we lived 6 years in Connecticut.
Okay.
6 years? 5.5 years in Connecticut. So he hosted us, and we're kind of still in his house.
Okay.
But we're moving. But the word, like the gospel itself, I had a lot of people teach. My parents taught me very well the gospel. We had in Connecticut, we had like an amazing church where we learned a lot. In Connecticut, we learned a lot of long suffering, which is one of the fruit. But it's good. It's good. You like even Jesus learned obedience by what he suffered. So suffering is good. In the words of Cephas.
In the words of Cephas, yeah. I think that's amazing. I mean, I guess, the way I often phrase the question is like, specifically about the gospel, but I think you bring up a good point in saying, there's different elements certainly to our relationship with Christ, and the gospel is the news, right? But really salvation it's a relationship with Jesus, right? And so I think you make a great point in saying, that like we need to experience the love of Christ as well, and that it would make sense, right? That would really kindle this relationship between you and Christ. And the way it's super cool to hear how God used some fellow believers to bring you into this deeper relationship, right? I think we talk about that a lot, right? Especially with our theme verse.
Hebrews 3:13.
He got it. Yeah, but it's all about like we talk about a lot, because of that verse, about how it's the duty and responsibility of us as believers to encourage each other in whatever way we need to, is good, whatever way is good to encourage one another and push each other towards Christ. And it sounds like you said Marco Tullio, was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what he did.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. It's steps, right? Like that's why we never should compare, because everybody it's running the run, and one thing that Facundo says that it's very, very cool. He says, only work with the grace that you have received so far, right? Don't look for a grace that somebody else received. Be grateful for what you have received, but like Paul said, and this is the Apostle Paul, when I was a kid, I would be doing things of kids, but now that I'm a man, I do things of men. So it's a step, right? It's a growing process. Like it's not a problem to be a kid, but know that kid, it's for a period. Then you become a teenager, and this, of course, spiritually talking in faith. Then you become a teenager, then an adult, and an elder. So it's all steps of Christ in us. Yeah.
That's important. That's a great point. I love it, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I know I gave you kind of a timetable, and we're running a little long. So I think thank you for being here, right? And for, I mean, really, it's been an honor to get to talk to you, and I think it's great for the people that listen to the show and watch the show to hear from somebody that like I want the focus to be not the fact that like, hey, this is so cool because this is someone we met because of our D&D podcast, but no, it's not that. It's that God is doing incredible things on the internet to bring us into communion with one another. And that's what I want to be the focus of this. Like, this is so cool that we have a brother in Christ, like I said at the beginning, that we may have never met if not for what God is doing. And we are blessed because of it. And that's amazing. And so also, I'm encouraged by hearing the ways that God has worked in your life and demonstrated how much He cares for you and loves you through His body, and I think that's incredible. But before we let you go, I've got one question for you, because you have gotten involved at Christian Influence, and I think it'd be cool, give you a chance, like you have the floor. How are you involved now at Christian Influence? What is it that you do at Christian Influence, and you can let the people know?
All right. So if you don't know what Christian Influence is, the community on Discord, you should probably check it out. It's very cool. And this, of course, talk to the audience, because I think you three know what it is.
No,
I'm familiar.
No idea.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
So check it out. Check it out. It's very good. So it was like it's a blessing for me, because Christian Influence is a place where I can find brothers and sisters that want communion, which is something that I've realized that it's very important to find people that want communion. And then we can share like stories, we can share prayers, we can share scripture. There's like the Bible study that I love, the Bible study. And we also have a lot of channels that we play games together, which is something that like it's something that I felt missing for a very, very long time, where I would jump into like a MMO and then I would have to look for guilds or stuff like that, but like just whoever's online at that time would work. But now I go there to Christian Influence and I say, hey guys, who want to play this game, or let's start a guild in this game, or do this and that. And then there's like or like, oh, what's a good movie to watch? So it's pretty much a Christian Reddit almost.
Oh no.
Which I love, man. I love, and the people there is just awesome. So yeah, Christian Influence is great. It's a great influence.
Well, good. I'm glad. But and specifically though, you volunteer some time too for the community, which is great. You run now. It used to be weekly, but now it's monthly, right? It's with when the D&D episodes come out. But I think this would be a great opportunity for you to kind of talk about that, and hopefully maybe some of the listeners here will be interested in that event.
Right. If you are interested in listening to a lore and legend, we do watch the episode or listen to the episode every Saturday after the episode comes out. Usually it's 4 p.m. New York time. What's New York time?
Eastern
EST.
Standard. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very, very cool. We have like a chat on the side where we comment, we make jokes, we throw some pictures out there of characters and of views, or when there's like a cool enemy coming in. So yeah, and then we talk some more. Some people are attempting or trying or wanting to get into D&D. We can have discussions about it. So on Christian Influence, what's the date that comes out the episode?
It's every
I think
third
we're gonna have
Friday.
two episodes a month, right, Levi?
Maybe soon.
I think.
Maybe soon. But yeah, the third Friday of every month, a new episode comes out. So it's the third Saturday of every month.
Well, it's not always the third Saturday.
I guess technically not, but it's always
But,
the next day. But the third Friday of every month, that the day after that, on that Saturday, you do an event where people gather together and they can listen to that new episode together. I think it's a really cool event. We've had some awesome times where a ton of people have joined in and listened to the episode together. I think for a lot of people, it's just knowing that it's going on. So I think this is a good opportunity for people to know. If you listen to Of Lore and Legend, if you enjoy our D&D show, go be a part of this event. Because if you're going to listen to the new episode anyway, try hanging out in Discord and listening to it with other people. And don't worry, mics are muted. So you don't have people like talking over the show.
Yeah.
Like he said, there's a text chat where people chat like that. But it's such a blast. Every now and then, me or Levi or Jared or some of the other players will jump into that, make surprise little appearances, and sometimes you get a chance to chat with some of the players and stuff, which is a fun time. But yeah, I want you guys to know, our brother in Christ here, Richard, leads that event, and it's a huge blessing. I'm glad that he leads it because I don't have to lead it, number one. But also, it's cooler having someone that really loves the show and enjoys listening to it. I think it's better to have someone like that leading it because you get like a different perspective on the episodes and conversation.
It's a different insight than what me and Jerry can provide from being, so integral in its creation and,
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It's a different appreciation.
And if anybody have questions for the players or the DM about something, for example, I have a question that sometimes I put it there, but was there something in the bathroom that Arthur entered? That's a question that I will be putting next time and see if there's an answer to that.
Wait, what?
Because
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So for those that listen to Of Lore and Legend, there was okay. Well, you're referencing something great in the future, and I'm working on scheduling this right now. We're gonna do a sit down recording, and I think we'll probably do it video, kind of like this, where we're gonna get all the players into a room. And get you on a call, and we're gonna have you ask us some fan questions, and we're gonna do like a little Q&A, like cast Q&A, and so that'll be coming out in the future, right? That'll be fun. And so you can ask me that question there, and maybe you'll get an answer. What do you want to know? You want to know if Arthur put something in the bathroom in that early episode? Yeah.
Yeah. And a fan question is, how old is Titus?
He's 18.
Well, do you guys have anything for Richard?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, truly, it's been so encouraging seeing and hearing how you got involved and found the podcast, and then just how much you have taken on this on your own, especially with like the hosting and stuff. Like, I found it super cool getting to hop on those calls and listen and talk to you guys and make those connections. I usually work on weekends, so I'll pop in the call for like as long as I can. But it truly has been such a blessing, and it's been super encouraging to all of us to see how much you guys are enjoying it. We really made a hard focus for this campaign when we were wanting to record it and release it, that we would have a good, clean focus and a God center to it. Not that our last campaign wasn't, but we were a little bit more loose with it. And I feel incredibly blessed that people like you are finding it and enjoying it, and it's very encouraging.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
having fans being wanting to take such a big part in it has been incredible for me. Just because I get discouraged incredibly by the whole process, and having that, it has been incredible in keeping me going with it. And so thank you so much for being a part of it. And I do have one last thing. It's not really a question. It's more of a command. Tell us a joke.
Yes, we have a tradition here. Guests on the show have to tell us a joke. You're in the hot seat.
Go.
I'm not at the hot seat because I have the best joke ever.
Oh.
So, yes. So there was this chick, like a little baby chicken, right? Which only had one eye. So this chick went to blink and fell asleep.
What?
I crack up with this joke.
Wait, is it over? I don't get it. What? What?
Okay, that sucked. Let me get another.
No, I'm so can you explain it to me? Is it a Brazilian joke, or do I have to be from Brazil?
So there was this chick, right?
Yeah.
Baby chicken that didn't have a beak. But then one day it went to eat and it hit its forehead.
He's dying over there.
Dude, I'm not getting it. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to get. It's just such a dumb joke.
Is that it? I'm thinking about it way too hard. All right. I mean, it would be.
Is
pretty
there
funny.
another little chick? With another.
So there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
these are like the building
I
on
was
top of each
wondering.
other's. Yeah.
No. They're all like separate chicks. Like there's nothing building here. But what's it called when the chick like pulls her feet back to look for stuff?
Dig?
Oh, when it scratches the ground, like digs at the ground.
Scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this one chick that had wooden legs. So when it scratched the ground, it caught on fire.
All right. Pretty good. I'm lost. I'm lost. Is that the last chick?
No, I have millions of chick jokes, man. My wife hates them.
It's not building. It's not building to a chick. This is it. You just have a bunch of poor
just
handicapped baby chickens.
Deformed chickens just dying.
Yeah, well, they didn't die. They just.
Well, the one that caught on fire.
Well, the one
probably
that
did.
caught on fire might have.
Yeah, that's a chicken nugget now.
Yeah.
It's a chicken nugget.
Yeah. Oh, the one with one eye didn't die. It just fell asleep.
It just fell
just
asleep.
fell
Yeah,
asleep.
yeah, that's true.
All
That's
right.
true. The long sleep.
Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you for being here. I think to kind of echo what Jarrett was saying, we're really honored. I think it's been incredible to get to meet you and to get to know you, and we're really grateful for what you're doing, and we pray for you. So thank you for being here on the show.
Yeah, and check out the watch alongs or listen alongs.
Yeah, he knows about him. No, I'm just kidding. Listener out there.
Get wrecked. Dude.
I'm sorry. It felt like you were directing that at him, and I was like,
I love the get wrecked.
yeah. He's told me before the get wrecked and got him when you say that.
Got him.
One time we were talking, he's like, what's that thing that Levi always says? And I was like, I don't know. And then you said it. I think when we were doing that Gamer of Peace thing, you said it, and he's like, that's the thing. Get wrecked and got him. Because it happens a lot. I'll just be saying stuff as the DM, and Levi will just be in the corner going, get wrecked or got him.
It's just people set it up. Just
Yeah. It's a
You
good
know?
one.
Yeah.
destroy each other.
That's a holdover from our high school days. We used to say that a lot.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say used to. We still say it all. It's just a thing that we've always said.
Well, they built a rec center in Kaiser, and I petitioned for them to call it the Get Wrecked Center.
No, that's not really the vibe that they're going for, though.
Yeah, it's the opposite, but that would be great. That's smart. All right, Richard, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. This was a great conversation. We hope you, the listener, you enjoyed it, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
We love you very much.
Roll the outro.
The door, Levi.